I asked my Twitter followers to send me questions for a Q&A video, and you all responded. So thank you very much for that. I won't even be able to get to all the questions. I'll get through how many I can. If you want to follow me and get future chances to ask questions for Q&A videos, follow me on Twitter. That's what you got to do. All right, let's get started. Mark_Wayland67 asks, what the hell took so long for Zach Thomas to get in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? I'm not saying he should have been first ballot, but it seems that his wait was too long. Mark, let me give you some context here. And this might help you a little bit. Chuck Howley, one of the probably 10 to 12 best outside linebackers in NFL history, had to wait frickin' 40 plus years to get into Canton. And he's just now getting in this year. Randy Gradishar, an inside linebacker like Zach Thomas was in his career, way better than Zach Thomas. Not an opinion, a fact. Gradishar, one of the 6 or 7 best inside linebackers in NFL history, has had to wait over 35 years and still isn't in Canton. Zach Thomas had to wait 10 years. The fact that Randy Gradishar is not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame as Zach Thomas is completely fucking ridiculous and stupid. And granted, Gradishar's now been part of the senior process. Zach Thomas was in the modern pool. A lot of people don't understand the difference of how that works. But the whole point is you say, what the fuck took Zach Thomas so long? I would say, why the fuck did it take Sam Mills until year 20 to get into Canton? Why is it taking Gradishar 35 fucking years? Zach Thomas getting in when he did, he should be thankful that he did. Period. Fan42420. If I recall, you're a Cubs fan. What are your thoughts on Jed's approach, and why does Ricketts seemingly want to run this team like a small mid-market team? Because Chicago fans are really stupid. And Chicago fans will continue to fork over money no matter whether the teams can care to compete or not. That's it. If you don't give them a reason to give a fuck, why would they? Jed's approach is probably trying to make the best out of a crappy situation. The Cubs want to run like a middle-of-the-road fucking team. And they, therefore, produce middle-of-the-road results. It's so disappointing when you look back just a few short years ago. They were one of the preeminent organizations in Major League Baseball. You know, consistent contenders for a few years. And now it's just back to same old Tribune Corporation-owned Cubs type of bullshit. It sucks. Eagle Fan Master. Will Mongo McMichael get into the Hall of Fame? Yeah, you probably saw me, Eagle Fang, on Twitter talk about, well, if Joe Klecko gets in the fucking Hall of Fame, then Steve McMichael deserves to be there. He was a better pass rusher in his time, certainly was. That holds true. Klecko had 2 massive sack seasons, but out of his 78, 79 career sacks, 30 plus of them came in 2 seasons. So Klecko's top peak was really top, but only a couple of years. McMichael had more sustained excellence. To me, the thing is he went from not even being a consideration to all of a sudden he's in the semifinals, which is the last 12. And out of that, 3 seniors are chosen. And then that gets voted on later to determine whether those 3 seniors go along with the rest of the nominees or inductees for 2024's class. If he's gotten to this point, they might as well go all the way with him. I'd be okay with Mongo in the Hall of Fame. It wouldn't be my first choice. It wouldn't be my first choice in the 85 Bears. Frankly, I think Wilbur Marshall was a better player. I think Jay Hilgenberg was certainly a better player. But Mongo's the one in the final 12 now. So yeah, I think he should get in. Why sit there and wait another year fucking 2? Now, does it mean in large part that he's probably gotten to this point all of a sudden for the wrong reasons? Things that aren't related directly to his football playing career and his performance and his accomplishments and achievements? Absolutely. But that played a big role in guys like Bryant Young and Ken Riley getting into the Hall of Fame over the last 2 years. So, if it could work for them, let's have it work for Mongo. DeMarcus Flowers. Have the Chiefs done enough to secure a repeat? They certainly are in the mix. Splash Bro Kieran. What did you think about Dr. J's top 10 list? I didn't fucking see it. Was it an old head list that left people out like Bird and LeBron and so forth? Probably fucking dumb. If it's from Dr. J, it's probably fucking dumb. Wrestling Cola Ma, excuse me. How has life been going in the university studies? Would you ever move out of Virginia, or do you like living there? I like living here. Certainly not married, having to stay here the rest of my life, that's for sure. I've been here 10 years now, by the way. How's life going? Solid. work as hell, but it is what it is. University, like college studies. I don't know. This is an English thing, a European thing. We call it university. We don't call it college. I got my associates at the end of 2022. I've taken 2023 off and will be going back to go after my bachelor's in 2024. That's what I'll do. So hopefully that goes well. Wish me luck. Rob the Yankee. What are 3 baseball players that didn't get into Cooperstown that you think are worthy? PED users, or you said non-PED users or players that are permanently banished. Why do we have to exclude the PED users? I'm sorry, and this is like the whole fucking thing. The Baseball Hall of Fame is full of fucking cheaters. Any era you could go in, cheater, pumpkin eater. So fuck all this, all of a sudden we make this big stand against PED users. Furthermore, any argument about keeping those guys out, once Bud Selig got in, different process, doesn't matter. He fucking got in. That means the PED shit doesn't matter. It should be laid to rest, RIP, dead and fucking buried. So in that case, you're looking at guys like Bonds, Clemens, McGuire. I certainly would love to throw Sosa into that mix, right? But you also got the cork bat thing. That's just right there, those 3. How the fuck can you tell the story of the history of the game without those 3 in the Hall of Fame? That's stupid. How are you a baseball museum and you don't have those guys in there? Now, if you want to include like best 3 players and include like non-PED users, you probably would go Barry Bonds, you'd go Roger Clemens, and then you go Pete Rose or Shoeless Joe Jackson. You pick one of those 2. But the whole ban on PED users is really dumb and typical of what you would expect of the crap that is Cooperstown. Couch NFL commish. When will Devin Hester get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? He was a first-year finalist, and I think he even made it to the final 10. And this past year, he was for 2023's round, he was a finalist, but he only made it to the cut of 15. The fact that in his first 2 years of eligibility, he's made the top 10 and the top 15, I'd be stunned if he's not in the next 3 to 5 years. And like Bears fans, just need to fucking be patient. It'll happen. Gio knows. Are you a big hockey fan? And if not, will you be tuning in more this year since the Blackhawks drafted the next generational talent in Connor Bedard? Big hockey fan? Absolutely not. Have I watched the Blackhawks over the years at times? Have I watched hockey over the years at times? Certainly, Gio. Will I watch more because of this kid? Probably not. And you'll probably understand why. Like, there's only so much time in the day, right? And there are only so many sports I could watch. I wish I could sit there and work very little and just watch all the sports. It's just not a reality of life, unfortunately. So I got to pick and choose my spots, and I pick and choose like football and basketball. You know, it's just the way it is. Will I be a little more interested in trying to intentionally check out a couple Blackhawks games? Maybe. But then there's also the piece of, it's not like I live back in Illinois anymore, so it's not like those games are as easily available locally as compared to out here in the RVA area. Columbus Wealth. Describe what Bidenomics is and how it should realistically be evaluated for success in an objective and nonpartisan way. Which I'm sure you would carry an objective and nonpartisan mindset here, right? Oh, yeah, what the fuck is Bidenomics? Like, what has he done? I mean, real talk. Like, what has he done? You say, well, inflationary spending. Okay, how's that different from the Republicans? It's not. Standard economic policy as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't really have a flow. Like, some of it's just really dumb. Like the Inflation Reduction Package. How is a fucking spending package? How's a spending package an inflationary reduction package? That's just stupid, right? And of course it's not going to reduce fucking inflation. That's just a bait and switch tactic. That's really shitty. I don't like that stuff. But if you're asking me like, oh my God, he raised a bunch of taxes. Did he do that? No, the fuck he didn't. Did he sit there and actually forgive student loans? No, the fuck he didn't. He could have. He should have. You could say, well, he tried to and the court struck it down. Fuck the courts. That's where I said, like, Biden should steal from, I can't believe I'm saying this, Andrew Jackson, and say the courts have made their ruling, now let them enforce it. Fuck them. Let the courts be the ultimate arbiter. power they gave themselves of a judicial review. What the fuck is that all about? Rod Hall. Considering Trey Lance was the number 3 pick and he shows little signs of improvement, is it time for San Francisco to panic? Yeah, it's time for them to really worry if he's not the starting quarterback in 2023, unless they're not going to really give him a fair shot. But they invested a lot in this kid. To have him bust out like that would be really, really bad. Antonio Johnson, 4. If Joe Milton puts up similar numbers as Hendon Hooker did last year or better, do you see him being a first-round pick in 2024? I don't know yet. I haven't watched enough of him to be able to gauge that yet. Shravan G News. You should check out his podcast, folks, and follow him on Twitter, one of my buddies. Who was the biggest draft bust in Bears history? Cade, you know what? It's Cade McSuckass, Curtis Enis the Penis, or Shane McClellan. They come to mind because they are the representation of Bears football. Biggest bust in Bears draft history. His name is Mitchell Trubisky. He was drafted number 2 overall as a quarterback. You're going to say, well, he stayed for 4 years compared to Enis. Enis was a really bad bust. If you want to go there, I have no objections. Cade McSuckass, yeah, he was a quarterback, but he was drafted several slots lower in 1999 than Trubisky was in 2017. In my opinion, it was Trubisky. My opinion. Sash Daddy 2, with the addition of DJ Moore, will the Bears push to make a playoff spot, or are they still a year away? If they're a fucking year away, Ryan Poles at least should be on the hot seat, as should Eberflus, if not both fucking fired. You don't go into the offseason with the number 1 pick and all that can come with that and the most cap space to sit there and say, we're okay with 7 wins, we're making fucking progress in year 3 of Justin Fields' rookie scale contract. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Hell no. They better push for a fucking playoff spot. At minimum. Time to raise the standards, folks. Spenny P19. Did Ted Phillips retire yet, or is he still with the Bears? I thought he was done. I don't fucking know. Being counting Ted, you know, he works in mysterious ways, really. The dreaded Necco. What are your thoughts on the Jonathan Taylor and Colts Jim Irsay situation? Certainly feels like Jonathan Taylor got pissed because maybe reportedly he injured his back, although he refutes that. Why would teams pay big money for a running back? It's a fair question. The Shaw Father. Which Chicago sports team has the best future going forward and why? P.S. Can I get a Cade McSuckass? You sure can. Cade McSuckass! In terms of the best future right now, it probably is the Bears. So fuck it, the White Sox, the Cubs, or the Bulls. It's down to the Bears or Blackhawks, and I'll probably go with the Bears right now. I think they have the best future. Mr_Scoobs closes us out by asking, would you consider the Chiefs a dynasty yet, or do you think they have to win another title or two to be considered as one of them? I think 4 championships puts them into that true dynasty category. What say you? I think there's a bit of a dynasty there already, making, 5 straight AFC championship games, winning 2 Super Bowls, making it to 3. That's kind of dynasty-like. They win 1 more Super Bowl, you absolutely cannot deny them at that point. But I kind of already think like this is a mini dynasty right now. That's a hell of a lot of success in a relatively short window of time. Kind of strikes me as a damn dynasty. I had fun with this one. These are some great questions. Even if you got some animated responses out of me, that's when it's the best. So thank you all of you that submitted your questions. I look forward to doing more Q&A videos in the weeks and months to come. And we're getting ready for football season soon. And for those of you that are Bears fans, you get to hear me probably scream plenty in 2023 about Bears